Today we have a really great training talking about a couple big things that are holding you back from working 20 hours a week. Okay. So if you're here with me live, I want you to comment and say, hey, or if you're watching the replay, comment below with hashtag replay so I know that you were watching the replay. Okay, cool. So let's just dive right into this training. Keep it short and sweet, right? So the first thing that is holding you back from working 20 hours a week is having more than one main offer. I say this time and time again, but one thing that I want to say specifically today is that having one main offer is completely different from niching, okay? So everybody tells you that you need to niche down in order to make more money in your business, to work less. And yes, while this is true, there's more to it than that, okay? You need to make sure that you have a holistic and customized business strategy focused around creating one six-figure signature offer that's scalable and sustainable. Okay, so what's the difference between these two? So first of all, niching is just picking one service to focus on or one group of people to work with, okay? That's what is typically described as niching. Now, having a six-figure signature offer, this is a strategically designed offer that will actually allow you to reach six figures a year and attract and serve your dream clients. There's a big difference here, right? Because niching, you can just pick something to niche down into all day long, right? Like I can say right now, I want to focus specifically on website designers, but if I'm not thinking long-term about how I can actually serve this group of people, it's not going to matter, right? That's why you need to be really strategic with how you actually choose this offer. It's more than just picking something, right? It's picking something and being strategic about it, okay? Because here's the thing, if you don't have this six-figure signature offer, you're not going to be able to sign clients very easily, right? And that's what we want. We want to throw up a post on like Instagram, for example, and we want clients to send us DMs, right? That's the whole point of creating content, to have it convert into dollars in our pockets, right? Especially if you're running a business, right? It will also allow you to spend unnecessary time doing work in your business that you don't enjoy doing, that you don't want to do, and that will never get you to your freedom goals, okay? It will also allow you to work with dream clients that you want instead of just signing clients who come to you just so that you can pay the bills. And then when you have this, or when you don't have this six-figure signature offer, you're also going to avoid raising your prices, right? Because if you don't raise these prices, things are safe, things are comfortable, right? But if you do, you'll likely be afraid that those clients are going to leave, right? People won't pay you the amount that you need them to. So that's why it's so crucial to make sure that you're thinking strategically about what this offer will actually look like. Okay, so if this is making sense, I want you to comment and tell me that this is making sense, because I want to make sure that I am so clear on this, okay? Why it's so important to have this offer, okay? Second thing is undercharging for your services. So again, we're thinking long-term here. We're thinking about the longevity of our businesses. We're not thinking day-to-day anymore. We're not thinking about how we're going to pay the bills next month. We're thinking like CEOs. You are in a CEO group right now, right? Now, you need money to keep your business afloat. So don't forget that. And undercharging is doing you nothing to allow that to happen, okay? All undercharging is doing is putting you on the fast track to burnout, because you're going to be doing so much work and not being compensated for it. And you will likely not be able to hire high quality team members who can support you in doing that work, which will then result in you getting your time back, right? Plus, when you enjoy what you're doing and you're good at it, you deserve to be compensated for it, right? You deserve to be paid for sharing your gift with the world. And you deserve to be paid a lot of money to do that, okay? Let's just be real, okay? Then the third thing that I see people saying is, or see people doing, oh, I see a question in here. I'll get that to the end. I can't talk today. I see a question, but I'll get to that in the end. So one second. The third thing that I see people doing is creating content that will never attract dream clients. Your content that you're creating, it needs to speak to people on a deep soul level and provide them a transformation that they want to achieve, okay? So posting surface level topics like tasks to outsource to a VA, or like the best times to post on Instagram, or like throwing a random quote up that says like, you can do anything but not everything. These are not going to ever convert to paying clients, okay? These are very surface level topics. You need to speak the words that your ideal client needs to hear, okay? But if you don't even know who this person is, you can't create content for it. So again, that comes back to this offer. We're creating an offer that allows us to think long term, which will then allow us to figure out who we want to sell this offer to, your ideal client, and then we create content that speaks to that ideal client. So see how we're going here? See how this is all tying back together? We're not posting for the sake of it anymore. We're not just throwing up things, posting and praying and hoping that somebody will like randomly slide into our DMs. We're not doing that. We are, and if we're being totally honest, creating content takes time, right? So it makes no sense to waste time and just throw something up randomly when you could use that time to actually create a high quality piece of content that will actually convert, okay? So what do you do instead? I just kind of broke this down a little bit, but first you need to figure out what that six-figure signature offer is. If you are offering more than one thing in your business right now, first of all, that's got to step. If you have one offer in your business, think about this from a CEO perspective. Are you thinking about this offer long-term? Will this offer allow you to hit six figures and work less than 20 hours a week? For most people, it will not because they're not thinking about it like that. You also need to understand exactly who you're speaking to. We just talked about this, right? That is your ideal client. That is your dream client that you want to sign. Third, creating content that speaks to them and what those deep desires are. Guess what? That's when the clients start to come with you. That's when you get those random DMs and people are coming out of the woodwork, okay? And we're doing all of these things and so much more inside of 20-hour week society. You're going to learn how to set up the fundamental elements, everything that we talked about here and more, that will actually allow you to reach that six-figure level and work less than 20 hours a week, okay? I'm going to put the link above in the description for you guys. You can check it out. We have founding member pricing going on right now until September 1st. Yes, September 1st. So make sure that you get in, grab that pricing while it's available. Let me see the questions that were asked. Hey, Amy, I'm so glad that you were here. So glad you were able to make it live. Does it work with a virtual assistant? So, Anika, what do you mean, does it work with a virtual assistant? Does what specifically work with a virtual assistant? Creating a six-figure signature offer? Because yes, it does. I have worked and currently work with many, many virtual assistants. And also creating content works with virtual assistants, and having dream clients works with virtual assistants. So yes, everything that I've talked about here does work for virtual assistants. Absolutely. Yep. So hope that answers your question. If not, well, let me know, or just send me a DM, or if anybody else has questions about anything I shared here, if you have any questions about 20-hour week society, send me a DM. Happy to chat with you. But it looks like I don't have any more questions today. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you next week.